Well, more than $20 billion was wiped from the value of the local market today as spiralling Spanish debts that we just talked about, and those fears spooked investors. I spoke to Ken Howard from RBS Morgans a little earlier. Well, Ken Howard, euro jitters have returned to bite the markets, and miners leading the way lower on the local bourse, I see.
Yeah, it's a pretty disappointing day across the board, and certainly in the miners. I mean, I'm putting it down to the fact that the yield stocks are the area, the safe haven that the market's looking for, as opposed to the growth stocks that the market was interested in 12 months ago. So, yeah, another jittery day, and some of it coming out of Europe. I'm sure we'll see the end of that soon, but not sure exactly when.
All right. Now, just to a couple of corporates, I see Dulux Group has come back with a revised bid for Alesco, but the target company is digging in its heels.
Yeah, look, Dulux has said that this is a final offer. So hopefully this brings the end of this particular takeover show. Alesco directors obviously looking for a lot more. That company had highs up over $10 a share, and prior to the Dulux offer, it had lows under $1. So I would have thought a $2 offer or a $2.05 offer from Dulux would have been something that the shareholders of Alesco were looking for, but clearly the directors think it's worth more. But at least it'll bring an end to this particular journey. A lot of Dulux shareholders were very happy with Dulux because of the maintenance side of paint, whereas they were less excited about the Alesco side of the business, where selling roller doors and those types of things, you really need new construction to pick up for that business to do well. So I think there'll be a lot of happy shareholders on both sides of the equation.
Now, a trading update from Goodman Fielder which reaffirmed profit guidance, and the shares have gone down 5%.
Yeah, look, I think Goodman Fielder is just in a very rough patch at the moment. It's probably more the high wheat prices, which have been skyrocketing in the last 3 or 4 weeks on the back of very poor weather conditions in some key grain growing areas in the United States, even here in Western Australia. So I think it's just going to be another tough 12 months for Goodman Fielder. You're right, the update was in line with guidance, but there's a lot of tough competition out there from the big retailers, and with commodity prices being volatile, there won't be a lot of room to move for Goodman Fielder, which is still going through quite an extensive restructuring process.
Let's hope our Western Australian farmers can make something of that. And finally, Leighton subsidiary Thiess has secured a $2.3 billion mining contract over 6 years in Queensland's Bowen Basin. Why did the share price not respond as you'd think it would?
Yeah, look, it's a fairly big contract. It's certainly a very good win for Leighton's. When you think about Thiess, though, it is doing about $7 billion worth of work a year, and it does have about $24 billion worth of work in hand. So a $2 billion contract is something that they do need to be able to put away on a periodic basis just to keep that work in hand topped up. So, look, it is good news to see that they're winning contracts, but it really wasn't a market-changing announcement for Leighton's, and their share price performance was pretty much in line with the market, down about 1.6% today.
Ken Howard, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you to you.
To the other key movers on the local share market now, and Rio Tinto has led the mining sector lower, sliding 3.5%. Echo Entertainment has confirmed the appointment of new chairman John O'Neill. News Corporation dipped after Rupert Murdoch's weekend resignation as the director of several of its newspapers ahead of splitting the company. And Spotless Group has confirmed conditions are being met to allow its takeover by Pacific Equity Partners to proceed. Turning to currency markets, the Australian dollar dropped around a cent. And in commodities, in New York, oil is $91.54. And gold dropped back to $1,573 an ounce.